Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Play Football Manager 2020. I'm Ahab, this is my Deportivo save, and thanks for joining me. I think I've recorded this episode 3 times now. This will be the 3rd time, and I just wasn't happy with the previous 2. I've been distracted by things in real life. As I told you in the last episode, we had some issues with my wife. She's all good now. A lot of things going on at work, a lot of things going on with my little daughter. So life was just grand, but taking me away from things for a little bit. That's okay. Let's get on to... This is the last episode of Season 2. This is a summary for our first La Liga season. And we're going to roll through some things here. We're going to summarize the season that we had in La Liga. We're going to discuss transfers out, transfers in. Going to talk about the next season coming up. And that should do us. This will not be that long of an episode, really just an informational one for those of you who like that sort of thing. So, how did we do? Ended up 3rd place in the Spanish First Division in La Liga, and I'm really happy about that. I'm chuffed, in a word. I am not happy with the way we ended the season, and I'll show that in just a second. But, I mean, for all the players, for the money we're spending, I mean, compared to other teams in the league, we are close to the bottom of the league in terms of our salary levels and how much we spent on transfers. Although that changed here a little bit. But so you can see we've had Ryan Edmondson had a fantastic year in front of goal. 26 goals, was first for the whole league. He was 2nd for the league in average rating, 7.51, behind Tony Cruz, who had an amazing season for passes and creativity. And then you can see we had Fede Cartabia, who had the league-leading assists for this season. So we had a great season, all things considered. So we have Champions League soccer coming up in the next season, and I will touch on that later on in the episode here. Let me discuss why I'm unhappy with what happened at the end of the season. First of all, look at the form that we've had since February. 4, 7, 8, 11 draws. 11 draws against teams like Getafe and Malaga and Girona and Alaves. And we had a draw against Vigo and Eibar. I'm not counting Barcelona because I appreciate that draw. I like that draw. And then we lost our last game against Valladolid. I mean, these were games we should have came away with points, and we could have possibly had a much 2nd place. Possibly, I don't think anybody was going to catch Barcelona, but certainly we could have been fighting more with Real Madrid, who placed 2nd, than Atletico, who we placed 1 point above in the standings. Especially not happy with the last 6 games of the season, with exception to the Barcelona game, and of course the win against Levante. If you haven't seen that episode, where Vicente scored the last-minute goal, I mean, I was over the moon about that. But that being said, you know what? I appreciate that victory, though, because Levante was a tough team this season. They placed 10th or 9th. I don't recall. Let's take a look. But the way they played, certainly they should have been higher. They placed 10th. So anyway, let's move on to transfers. With the placement in 3rd, the board came to me and said, Ahab, here's $16.25 million of transfer funds, and here's a couple million extra towards salaries. Go do what you need. And I said, hey, thanks for that. Could have used more, but that's all right. We'll go here. So I went out into the transfer market. I knew I needed. Well, let's just review. Let's go to the summary page for transfers, and we'll go down one by one here. I knew we had a lot of folks going out. Gerard Valentin was a winger who I had out on loan. I planned on keeping him, but then, he tried to re-sign for too much money. So I said, you know what? Nope, you're leaving. Dejan Lekic he left. He's retiring, I think. But he's 36. Had some very good stats, but just wasn't fast enough and strong enough physically to maintain position. And we'll go into my transfers in a minute. I'm not sure about Berto. Sold him for $500K. That's fine. had a bunch of B-team players that are going out, and I'm fine with that stuff. Kevin LaCruz I'm going to see if I can sell him. Ivan Calero, I'm going to see if I can sell him. Borja Galan came back from loan, and I think I'm going to keep him. I need somebody to rotate in and out on the wide right, and Alvaro Traver is doing well and deserves that spot. Galan is a similar player, actually a little bit more. I was sad to lose Akeche. Boy, sad to lose Akeche, but what can I say? Gonzalo Oliveira going out on loan to Cadiz. Ogu on a free, losing him. Fine with that. Great, good player, just got injured at the drop of a hat, even though it doesn't say he's injury prone. I already mentioned Gerard Valentin out on a free. Birker Bjarnson, solid Icelandic player, just not solid enough for La Liga. So what this is not showing is some of the other players who are leaving. It's July 1st on the save. Some of the other players that are leaving, if they haven't left already. They have left already, it looks like. So Christian Santos went out on a free. Vincente went out on a free. And Brigantinos retired. So we have a striker position open. We have a midfielder position open. And because of I'm loaning out Mujahid Sadiq to get some experience, and the fact that I don't totally trust Labropoulos. I've been calling him Ladropoulos the entire time. Labropoulos to play center defender. I needed some more. Basically, I needed some more in there, right? So here's what we did. And I'm sure plenty of you are already looking at the in section here. This hasn't bumped over to the 21-22 season, so the total that we've spent up here is from the beginning of this past season till just now. So Anthony Angelari is from Sampdoria, solid young defender with plenty of determination. A little short, a little light, but he's got strength. And short for defender at 5'11". I mean, I'm 5'11", but he's got strength and he's got drive. So I'm sure he will do very well as a ball-playing defender. Kike Clemente, slightly injury-prone, but I think we can manage that now that we have 5 defenders to rotate in and out. Fantastic stats. He's actually a libero, but we're going to play him as a ball-playing defender as well. So we've got plenty of things to do, plenty of players to support for defense now. 5'11" as well, 174, a little bit more, a little bit heavier, but I mean 15 passing, 17 composure, 50. If we can keep him, out of injury, he should be a solid defender. And then look at these prices: $750 for Angelari, $875 for Kike Clemente. Not bad. The midfielder. I feel like we had a little bit of a coup in the midfield. I was sending out all sorts of transfer offers for, of course, low balls because I don't have much money to spend. And all of a sudden, Lazio puts up Danilo Cataldi. And let me tell you about Danilo Cataldi. I don't know how he plays in real life, but I do know from FM17, FM18, I had him on teams in both of those football managers. I didn't have him. I don't think I had him in FM19. I don't recall having him in FM19. But this is a solid box-to-box midfielder for any FM. And the fact that Lazio listed him at $5 million, yeah, don't mind if I do. Don't mind if I do. And I don't mind paying him a little bit more based upon what he did for previous versions of FM. Now, things change between FM versions, right? So we'll have to see how this goes. I'm pretty confident we're going to be able to get stuff from him. He's replacing Vincente as Vincente and Brigantinos, technically, and Bjarnson as a midfielder. Midfield rotational. So, yeah, we got him for $5 million and his value's $9. And here's his contract. $25 million minimum release clause. I wasn't going to let him sit on a low value. And then For our striker replacement, we found Ludovic Ajorque in Strasbourg, Frenchman, nice and tall, 6'6", 180 pounds, perfect target man. Now, he can play pressing forward if we need him to, but perfect target man. Nomadic striker, plays with back towards goal. I'm looking forward to seeing what this guy can do. Yes, and his value, 10.5 million. We got him at 6.25 flat. Very happy about the transfers we brought in. Very happy about the folks that we let go for the season because, honestly, they were dead weight. I don't think I played all the players, Christian Santos, Vicente, Brigantinos, Bjarnson, this season in La Liga. I think all of them played no more than 5 matches each. So they were just dead weight on my salary. And well, that's that. So what are the expectations for the coming season? Well, the board, if I click on the right thing here, the board wants us to avoid a relegation battle. And that's pretty much it with regards to the vision. There is an expectation with regards to getting to a certain round in the Champions League, but I don't recall what it is. But it wasn't that hard, frankly, and I'm not seeing, is it in here? An E rating for that loss. I feel that. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't recall what the Champions League requirement was, but I'm confident I'm going to meet or beat that Champions League requirement. So I'm also confident we're going to avoid a relegation battle. I would be remiss if we didn't end up in Champions League spots again. I would be livid if we don't end up in Europa League spots. That's funny. In FM, Sevilla is in the real world, Sevilla is like always in the Europa League. But it's funny they made it there too. So theoretically, we should be in the top 7 places of La Liga next season. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that all the pundits don't think we're going to end up there because theoretically, compared to everybody else that's established in La Liga, we're still a lesser team. Full disclosure, I did jostle some of the transfer budget because I had a chunk left to offset. We were over payroll after all the transfers in by about 1.2 million, so I had a bunch of transfer left. So I jostled some of that just to cover that. So we still got some transfer, got some headroom in the payroll budget. I have a goal here to look for some other younger players to bring them into the U19 team to start working on them, specifically because we do have an issue with Champions League registration. Mujahid Sadiq is he the only player that's homegrown at my club? I think Sadiq is the only player that is homegrown at the club. And that can pose problems because you have to have 4 players trained there. So if I can't have 4 players, that's 21 players max I can bring in to the Champions League, and that would make some of these folks angry if they can't play, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I need to work on getting that done and keeping some players that are trained at the club. That's just unfortunate. So that's where we stand. I'm really excited about the coming season. Hopefully I can bring in some younger players to start building up the trained at club item. Or maybe even move up some of the other players that we have at some of our affiliates. We have a couple, actually. So I'll take a look there. But yeah, this was a short episode, really just a summary of the season, how I felt about it. and where we're going with the transfers in and transfers out. The next episode in this series... Oh, I totally forgot 2 things before I end the episode. In my searching for players, I found what I think is the lightest player in Football Manager. He plays for Espanyol at the moment in my save. Ryan Gill. 99 pounds. He's 5'9", 99 pounds. Solid stats everywhere. Great winger. But 99 pounds. I don't think I've ever seen a soccer player weigh that little in Football Manager. I cannot recall. That's something that would stick in my mind, I think, and that is a first for me. Yeah, I don't quite know what to make of that. I don't know how he plays, honestly. He's out on injury. Twisted knee, that's unfortunate. Let's see here. He's been in Espanyol. Oh, he was at Sevilla. And, I mean, he's had an okay career. 70 appearances over 4 clubs and 10 goals. He's only 20. Oh, man, he's got a solid career ahead of him. 17 flair. Ooh, that's nice. Well, anyway, yeah, 99 pounds. I wanted to share that with you guys. And I wanted to touch a moment on my Bath City save. The reason I've been focusing on my Deportivo save for the past couple of episodes is, one, it's the end of the season. I love the end and beginning of seasons and the transfer market. I just love jostling the team around, getting some new players in. I always get very excited for that. But the real reason is Bath City, I have encountered an issue, not technically, but within the game, where it has crippled my Bath City team, and I've got two match weeks in game to get it figured out in the transfer window, and I'm taking my time with it because, well, the sneak peek is I've lost some critical players because of the way their contracts were structured, and I didn't realize it. So it's all on me. Shame on Ahab. But I need to find replacements. And when I'm in that sort of situation, if I'm just playing a save by myself, I can take a very long time to do that. But since it's something I'm publishing on YouTube, I'm really trying to speed it along. I don't know when I'm going to post the next episode of that, but as soon as I get that issue figured out, the Bath episodes will be coming as frequently as the Deportivo episodes. And going forward with both saves, since I'm only posting at most 2 times a week for each save, I think I'm going to be transitioning to a 5-episode season, maybe with the Champions League with Deportivo. As I said in the previous episode for Deportivo, I'm going to be, I'll probably do maybe like a 7-episode or however the Champions League goes. I don't think having a match of the month leads to a short enough season. And I think I said this in the previous episode of the Deportivo save. So please, if you guys have any comments, I know Zilla left me a comment. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. If others have any ideas, let me know. But all right, like I said, quick episode, just really summarizing how the past season went, how the next season's going to go, hopefully. And stay tuned for Season 3, Episode 1 of Deportivo. That's coming up soon. Take care of yourselves. See you next time. Bye-bye.